What is up, you guys? My name is Austin Marks. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm just going to do a car vlog talking about what it's been like as a respiratory therapist over the past 5 years. Recently, I came across my video of what it was like being a respiratory therapist after 6 months, and let me tell you, it's been a crazy journey. Now, I graduated from respiratory therapy school in 2019, and it is now 2024. Like I said, 5 years. I've been through COVID. I traveled as a respiratory therapist. I worked in the NICU. I worked with adults. I did some transports as a respiratory therapist. So like going in the ambulance, in the helicopter. I'd say that I haven't done it all, but I have done a lot in the 5 years. I just want to share my experience with you guys. So let's start from the beginning. I graduated in 2019, and honestly, I found a pretty good hospital to work at. So at the hospital I worked at, it was a level 2 trauma center. We did open hearts. We had a regular ICU where we dealt with sick people, trauma patients, and surgical patients as well. So we did a little bit of everything. I just got my hands in everything that I could. I learned as much as I could. And then COVID happened. So COVID hit us pretty hard. We had no idea what we were going up against. And I'm sure if you're a human being, you know exactly what COVID was or is and how it has affected everybody, especially those that were in healthcare. Honestly, COVID kicked all of our asses, and I do not want to do that again. So COVID hit for about a year or so, and then I decided to go travel as a respiratory therapist. But before I went to travel, I did take a leadership position at my hospital. And I don't think I will ever go into leadership again. And here's why. I feel like everything is your problem, or people make it out to be your problem. So I also think that another thing is that I was a young buck and I was in charge, and some of the older people had a problem with that. I let it kind of get to me, and they always complained to the people that were higher up above me, and like I said, it was all my fault. Everything was always my fault, and I didn't want that. Now, if I could go back, I would suck it up. However, I saw a better opportunity and I took it. That's when I decided to go travel. Let me tell you, the contracts during COVID were absolutely crazy. So the most I was making was almost $4,000 a week, which is insane. That's a lot of money. I couldn't pass that up, so that's exactly what I did. The one regret I have is not going to travel as a respiratory therapist sooner, because you were making life-changing money, and honestly, it was great. If there was another pandemic, I would want it for the money. I know that's very selfish, but it's true. Okay, so I did this for about 2 years. I went and I traveled as a respiratory therapist at 2 different hospitals. First hospital, I was there for a year. This is where I really experienced COVID, got my butt whooped, but I was making good money, so I really didn't care. Now, this was an hour and a half away from my house. I worked 6 days in a row, and then I had eight days off, which was super nice. Now, the 6 days in a row sucked. By day 6, I was cranky, I was upset, I was ready to go home. But the 8 days off, let me tell you, that was like a vacation within itself. And then after I stayed at this place for a year, I went and I traveled to another place for about 6 months. And I was weekend option there. Now, I worked every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you don't realize how much goes on during the weekends until you work in the weekends. Now, will I do this again ever? Probably not. If you work weekend option, you do get paid more, but it's just not worth it in my opinion. Especially for me, I like to go to church on Sundays, and honestly, my spirituality just wasn't filled. I need to go to church. So I did this for 6 months, and then my wife was about to have a baby, and we needed insurance, because when you're traveling, the insurance is absolutely terrible. So I went and got a full-time job, and this is where I am now. I've been here for about a year or so. Do I enjoy working full-time? Yeah, it's not bad. The pay isn't as good, but it is what it is. Take the pros with the cons. when I started this full-time job, they asked me if I wanted to do NICU. And I wasn't too sure because I haven't done too much of NICU. I wasn't really familiar with babies. Well, anyway, they started putting me with the babies because I said that I would do it. And honestly, I kind of fell in love. I never thought that I would enjoy working with babies because I never really did it before and I was kind of scared. But like I said, I fell in love working with babies and going deliveries and just helping the little people out, you know? And then what they asked me to do was transports as a respiratory therapist. So what I did was basically helicopter rides or ambulance rides with the babies, take them from one hospital to another. Maybe the baby was super sick. We had to go pick it up and bring it to our hospital because we could give it a little bit more care. And I still do that. That's super awesome. And honestly, that's one thing that I'm super glad that I did because it's just an experience that I get to experience, basically. Increase my knowledge and learn different things. And I would say at the hospital I'm at now, I still do NICU as well as adults. And therefore, I am keeping my skills up completely with both things. And honestly, I'm just super happy where I'm at. Now, do I want to do respiratory therapy forever? Probably. I can, but probably not. Will I go back to school for anything? I really want to say no, unless I get it paid for, but I don't think I'm in that position. And with having kids and stuff, I probably not. However, I do have a small business, and if that guy could take off, that would be fantastic, and super passionate about that as well as respiratory therapy. Now, one thing I think that I would definitely do is eventually change hospitals, switch the scenery up. I don't understand how someone can work at the same place for 20 years and just not get tired at all. I would just want something different. I know that's probably just my younger mindset, but I mean, I would get super bored going to the same place, doing the same thing every single day. Oh man. But that's just being a respiratory therapist. Do I enjoy working the 312s? Yeah. The days are definitely long, but I really enjoy the 4 days off. Would I ever go do like 5/8? Probably not, because I don't know. Like I said, I enjoy having the 4 days off. And when you do 5/8, typically anywhere it's going to be like PFT, pulmonary rehab. And I don't know. Maybe someday I'll do that, but right now my mind or my heart is in the hospital and like with the acute patients. I like that. That's just my cup of tea. Now, like I said about being a respiratory therapist and changing careers and stuff like that, at one point I did almost go to PA school. I did all my prereqs, I took the GRE, and I was ready to go to PA school. However, this is right before I went to travel. I decided that I don't want to go to PA school. I want to go make a bunch of money, invest it in other things, and that's exactly what I did. Do I regret it? Yeah, that's not at the moment. I do not, because I would not be in the position I am now. I'd be in a totally different position. The other days that I wish I would have done it, maybe here and there, but I'd say that they're far and few and in between. I'm definitely glad that I just went and did my own thing, traveled. My wife, during COVID, she started her own business. We opened a dog grooming shop. We bought the building. We did a whole flip with that. Everything was awesome, and I honestly believe that God had that planned. So sometimes you ask God to do this, and then it doesn't happen, and things just go in a complete 180 direction, and I believe that that's exactly what happened. And God's plan is better than my plan, and that's all I can say. So going back to being a respiratory therapist, I don't really make videos about being a respiratory therapist anymore. I used to do it a lot, but I felt weird when I go to new places and they'd be like, oh, you post about respiratory therapy. Or if I'd say something that was incorrect. Most of my videos were just me talking about my experience, just like this here. I just wanted to let you guys know what it was like being a respiratory therapist. Was it hard? Was it bad? Was it sad? Was it depressing? That's kind of what I talked about. I didn't really go too much into education. Speaking about education, though, this upcoming winter, I am going to go ahead and be like a clinical instructor. I never done that before. That'll be pretty cool. So basically what I'll be doing is I'll be taking students from a local community college, bringing them to my hospital where I work. I will be basically teaching them any clinical aspect of things. So for example, if there's a guy or a couple students that are learning vent management, I will be teaching them the vent and showing them how to work it, let them touch it, let them put it on patients, extubate patients, get ABGs, make changes, things like that. Which I'm super excited for, and just letting new therapists try different things and learn and just get their feet wet, because I remember what it was like for me learning about ventilators and all that crazy stuff. It's a different language. It's very confusing, and if I can help people achieve their dreams and their goals, I definitely want to do that. Plus, being a clinical instructor pays pretty well, so that always helps, right? But yeah, where do I like working the most? Like the ICU, the cardiothoracic ICU with the open hearts, the NICU. I would say that I primarily enjoy working in the NICU with the babies. I don't know, once you work with the babies, working with adults, it's just not the same, I'd say. Babies are so innocent, they're cute, they don't talk back, they're not gross. And I don't know, you're just helping someone that can't help themselves. And yes, there's some adults like that as well, but there's also many adults you come across where they're just, ew. I'm just gonna leave it at that before I dig myself a hole. But like I said, guys, if you have any questions at all about respiratory therapy school, what it's like being a respiratory therapist, anything like that, please let me know. I like to share my experience, my thoughts, what's going on in the respiratory world. I don't make too many respiratory therapy videos anymore, just because it's not my cup of tea. I'm trying to get my business going, and I want to make videos about that and just helping people in the fitness aspect as well. So if you guys want to see how I manage working in the hospital and staying fit, I have another video about that. I'll post a link to that in the description below. Like I said, I have a lot of good stuff coming, and I just want to help you guys out. If you have any suggestions, any videos you want to see, please let me know. I can go ahead and make them. You guys can always follow me on Instagram, message me on there as well. That'll be a little bit more direct and personal than YouTube and posting a comment. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you got something out of it. If not, you can go ahead and tell me, Austin, your videos are pointless, and that's okay too. Anyway, keep doing what you're doing. Be the 1%.